Strategically situated in North Derbyshire and close to the industrial centres of the Midlands and the North, Barrow Hill Roundhouse is the last surviving railway roundhouse in the United Kingdom with an operational turntable. Built in 1870, it was threatened with demolition in 1991 when the site was closed by British Rail. It is a treasure trove of wonderful things guaranteed to delight any rail enthusiast. And whilst it may be a window to a bygone age, backward looking it most certainly is not. And so Nigel and I have come to Barrow Hill on a glorious spring day to find out more. Thanks to the extraordinary vision and energy of Mervyn Alcock MBE, its future appears as bright as its past. And so we began with Nigel chatting to Mervyn about the history of the roundhouse and how close it came to being lost to the nation.
You've got a wonderful empire here, Mervyn, with this as the core of it all. You are a local lad, I understand. How did it all start? Just simply that you were a boy spotter?
So in 77, age 12, I used to come here train spotting. Mum and Dad just lived up the road. And yeah, I spent many years coming here on summer evenings and Sundays, train spotting the Class 20s, 56s, 58s. And then went to college and read an article in 1989 in Steam Railway saying that they were going to flatten it. They were going to flatten Barrow Hill Roundhouse. So I was 22 years old and I thought, we're not having that. So I started a campaign to save it. And then I managed to convince the local borough council to put a preservation order on in 1991, just literally 48 hours before it was due to be demolished.
Really?
And then it was empty between 1991 and 1996. Where we were trying to get it off the property board, and we eventually acquired it off the British Rail Property Board at the end of '96. We'd raised 350,000 in various grants, and we started the process to rebuild it in '97.
Was it always your intention for it to be just a museum, or a museum and a commercial railway depot as well?
Well, of course, things develop, don't they? So initially it was just a museum, just wanted to save my childhood railway train spotting depot. And of course, the reality of finances came very quickly, and we needed to raise income. So that's when we started the process of creating the business plan to create a business model here, which was based around renting space for commercial activity.
I understand that your first income was a bit unusual in that it's selling the silver birch trees that you were clearing.
Yeah, well, the silver birch were taking the site of, and the first income we ever made, we chopped them into logs and sold them to a log company in Matlock in Derbyshire, and that was the first income we ever made.
So was there any plan on the commercial side, or did it just come along as ideas occurred to you, or people came to you with proposals?
Yeah, a bit of both really. We had a plan that we were mainline connected, which I'd insisted we retained the mainline connection, so that was useful. And then it became people came to us saying, oh, could we store locos, could we base some vehicles there? And then we went hunting for work as well, as we still do today. So it's a bit of both really. It's all done to protect the roundhouse, but fundamentally this is a working railway depot now.
And the commercial work pays for the museum side?
Yes, the commercial work keeps it all afloat.
And you use this for music events as well?
Yeah, so part of the requirement to earn money to keep this place alive, we do all sorts of things. We have beer festivals in here, we have concerts in here, we have anything we can. We had a big light show in here recently as well, so yeah, it's a venue.
So I'd always wondered why you were so interested in the music events here, and you told me a few minutes ago you used to be a professional musician.
I did.
Five-string bass.
Five-string bass guitar. I played for about 10 years. I was a professional musician, which was very fortuitous because it meant I could, during the day, I could work on this project, I could set this project up, go to meetings, and in the evening, I would gig and earn money. Yeah.
One of the very special heritage tenants at Barrow Hill are the Baby Deltic project. I spoke with Simon Hartshorn, director of the project. Simon, we're here in Barrow Hill Roundhouse. We've got the Baby Deltic just next to us. I mean, 10 of these were built. They've all been scrapped. So is this really a Baby Deltic?
Well, what makes it a Baby Deltic is the fact that it's got a Deltic engine in it. It's got a 9-cylinder Napier T929 engine in it, which is an original Baby Deltic engine. It was removed from a Baby Deltic at Stratford in the early 1970s. Therefore, its beating heart is a Baby Deltic.
So this is a 9-cylinder engine. Obviously, in the what we all know as Deltic, that's an 18-cylinder. So is it literally just a Deltic engine cut in half?
Yeah, it is. It is almost literally that. It is a 9-cylinder version of exactly the same engine. So many of the parts actually are interchangeable. The pistons, the conrods and stuff like that, the fuel pumps are interchangeable.
So how long has this taken? Presumably the first thing you did was to acquire the engine.
Yeah, we acquired the engine in 2001. We bought it from the National Railway Museum. It was stored in a 5-plank wagon at the National Railway Museum. I asked my friend at the time, Helen Ashby, if she wanted to sell it, and she said she did want to sell it. We bought it, we transferred it to storage, warm store, to let it dry out because it had been outside for so long. So the first part of the project was simply returning that engine to working condition.
So will it sound like a Deltic as well?
It sounds worryingly not like a Deltic, actually. The interesting thing was the first thing we did was restore the engine and bring the engine back to working condition. And the odd thing that happened when we first started it was we ran it up, got a nice video of it, and I turned to my colleagues standing behind me at the moment and said, does that sound right? Because none of us had actually heard a baby Deltic. It sounds like a baby Deltic. It's got that boom that Deltics have got. It's got a sort of turbo whine like a Class 40, but yeah, it's a Deltic.
And so where have the donor parts come from for the rest of it? It's because it looks incredibly authentic actually. So where have the bits come from?
Well, fundamentally, the engine we've already spoken about has come out of a baby Deltic. The body shell is from a donor Class 37 loco that was on its way to scrap. We bought the loco specifically because we needed a test bed to test the engine that we'd rebuilt. That was the only reason we built the engine in the first place.
Right.
The rest of the stuff, the control gear is ex-Class 37. The bogies are ex-Class 20. And everything else you see, I mean, fundamentally, everything between the cabs is rebuilt. Very, very little of the original loco remains.
When this project comes to an end, what will it have cost?
I would think that it would cost about £150,000, which actually, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a lot.
No.
An enormous amount of the work, and probably something like 90% of the work has been done by volunteers. Certain of the safety critical items, the bogie overhaul, the generator overhauls and stuff like that, we've had to sub out because we don't have the facilities and we don't have the competence. So yeah, let's say 150 grand.
Well, it looks terrific. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Also at Barrow Hill are the Deltic Preservation Society themselves. 17-year-old Alex Stojanovic is an apprentice with the society. We chatted to Alex and his dad Pete about Deltics, and then Alex kindly fired up engine number 1 on 55015 Tullyar. Before doing the only decent thing and firing up engine number 2 as well. It's wonderful to see that the lure of the Deltic remains so strong that a young man of 17 can be as excited about these fine machines today, despite the last one running on British Rail over 44 years ago. Alex is not the only young apprentice at Barrow Hill. Harry Bisbee is a full-time member of Mervyn's team, and he has an impressive claim to fame.
So, Harry, you're full-time staff here?
I am, yes. I do everything here. I look after the track work, I look after the engines, I drive the engines, do a bit of site maintenance, all sorts.
So you do track work and whatever else needs doing around the site, so we're getting a good old general training. But I understand that you are the youngest ever depot driver anywhere in Britain.
Yes, I'm 20 this year, so I'm passed out on the Class 02, the 03 and the little jewellery we've got.
All around the site, one can witness those engaged in tasks requiring great skill. And those that, whilst they require perhaps a little less skill, are no less important. One of the best loved features of the museum side of Barrow Hill Roundhouse is the signal box, where demonstrations of signalling are given by Derek Talbot. Derek is a retired Network Rail signal engineer, and he has lovingly restored the working aspects of the former Pinxton signal box since it was relocated to Barrow Hill.
So it's a Midland Railway box, 1896 it opened originally.
Okay.
It's the original lever frame, Midland Railway tunnel locking. So all the signals work over there. Of course we had to place them at 90 degrees to the track because they don't apply to train movements. We pull that lever, facing point lock lever, which locks these points in position.
Yeah.
There. And when this was a working signal box, there was a level crossing across the railway at this end.
Yeah. Does that
I've shut the gates across the road now.
Does that
So
release
that's
the distance?
released now. No, it's still not released.
Okay. So you've locked those points.
So I've
you've
locked
done the
points,
crossing.
I've closed crossing. So we've got 2 stop signals now there, look, number 17, number 16. Got number 17, which would be the home signal,
Yeah.
put it down. Number 16, starting signal.
So they're either side of the level
There.
crossing. Yeah.
So because I've cleared the 2 stop signals, lock the points,
Lock the crossing.
lock the crossing. Distance free now. Pull that. There's the arm off.
The roundhouse and the museum require funding, and this is supported by a dynamic commercial operation at Barrow Hill. Mervyn Alcock again.
So Mervyn, here we are in beautiful sunshine at Barrow Hill on your passenger platform for demonstration purposes. There's a 1880s whatever Midland Railway water tower behind you, a rake of brand new JNAs here. So we've seen heritage stuff, and I'm assuming that the commercial stuff pays for all the heritage operation. Just give us a bit more about the scope and extent of your commercial activities.
Yeah, absolutely. The commercial operations on a Monday to Friday here at Barrow Hill, they keep the whole place afloat. They keep the bills paid and the income come for the surplus to be transferred over to the charity. So it's a key part of keeping us alive. We have J&A storage, for instance. We have GSA storage. We also have the weed killer train coming in for maintenance. So there's a lot of mainline activity in here, which, as I say, generates the income to pay the bills and transfer.
And what about the range of stuff you do? So you're doing, you know, wagon storage, we've seen carriage and wagon work, we've seen loco work. What's the range of activities that are done on the site in the week there as a commercial?
Yeah, it's quite a range actually. We've got the two main buildings, which are Schwitelski. They maintain locomotives and tamping machines. Then you have the storage, which you can see behind us, and then you have the general access from the main line for maintenance. For instance, the weed killer trains, the RHTT, etc. So that it's different really. It's either off the main line and usage for maintenance, or it's actual physical work on the vehicles in a building.
So you're a busy commercial depot weekdays. What sort of headcount do you have working typically on site?
Okay, well this is like an industrial estate, so there's lots of different companies here, but the total number of people, it's probably around about 40 to 50 full time now.
And you're building a new innovation centre.
Yes.
Not meant to be a stupid question. What's going to go on in there particularly?
Well, the purpose of it is it's a town deal money, so it's a government levelling up money, and the idea will be that it'll have 3 aspects to it: training, rail training skills, it'll have research and development, and it will also be a commercial railway depot with pits and overhead crane. So it's really securing the future of this place now. It's a big step forward for us.
And you're literally open to offers. If people have got companies are looking for somewhere to do any aspect of railway, testing, trials, development,
Yep.
you're happy to have a conversation with them.
We are indeed.
Well, let's hope you get a few phone calls.
Thank you.
Barrow Hill is a remarkable survivor. Mervyn's vision, energy and sheer determination some 35 years ago, and every year since, has ensured it's survived. He thoroughly deserved the MBE he received in 2019 for services to railway preservation and development. Today, though, it's more than a museum. It is a vibrant commercial operation providing employment to many and hope in a part of the country that has faced more than its fair share of economic problems in the recent past. It deserves to succeed, and all the evidence suggests that it is, ensuring Barrow Hill Roundhouse continues to be something that future generations can visit and enjoy.